Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today on Sonal Says, and I hope you're all having a great start to the week and you had a great weekend. I think most of us may have heard, or at least I know I did, and a great icon in the fashion industry passed away, Kate Spade, and it made me realize that I have to talk about this and put this video out now more than ever, which I have been meaning to do. But now more than ever, it broke my heart really to see such a great person, suffer mental illness, and not only suffer it, because we all do, and it's a big thing right now. It's like any other disease, but it made me very sad. I felt heartbroken because this is one illness that's not visible to people outside, and it can cost you your life, and that's why I was heartbroken. So we're going to talk about mental health today, and when I mention mental health, I mean everything to do with our health in our mind, just the same as we deal with health on the exterior or other parts of the body, such as cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, malaria, tuberculosis, pneumonia. There's so many, right? And I just feel like our mental health is just as important, if not even more important, actually, than our physical well-being. We can go to the gym to exercise for our physical appearance and well-being, and that also helps the mental health. But I feel like at the moment, our society is very hypocritical in many ways, and I just feel like we live in a terrible time, both in good ways and bad ways. But with regard to mental health, I feel that we live in a shit society, to be honest, for lack of a better term, because it is really deep shit. This stuff is deep shit. Excuse me for saying that, but it's just, I can't phrase it any better. I think that we live in a time and society where people care more about oral hygiene than they care about depression or anxiety or anger or outrage or bipolar disorder or anorexia or bulimia. And I feel like every one of us who suffers from these sicknesses, which definitely are sicknesses of the mind, there's a stigma around this in the society, which I am willing to change, and I think everyone should change, because we should be able to talk about it. The stigma that surrounds it, that we are not able to talk about it, that we should be particularly ashamed about it, is not true, and it shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be right. There is nothing wrong with talking about mental health, about depression, about being anxious, being bipolar, being all those mental sicknesses that you can think about. The problem with me is, the problem that I see is that not many people talk about it openly, and because of the stigma, because people think that it is ashaming to say that they have depression. It is ashaming to say they have anxiety and they're seeking treatment for it. There is no shame about it, and that's what I'm trying to say here. And there shouldn't be, because it's just like any other sickness. If you take medication for hypertension, if you take medicine for cancer, if you take medicine for high blood pressure, then it's the same thing. You need to take medication for mental health, like depression or anxiety. In today's world, I assure you, even sportsmen, the most prominent business people, Kate Spade, the most successful people, we all at some point suffer silently, and we destroy ourselves in the process because we can't put it out in the open because of fearing judgment from what would somebody think if they think I have depression. This is what I am saying today on Sonal Says that must stop. If you are silently suffering, and hear me, if you are silently suffering out there, I urge you to seek help. If you don't have friends or somebody you can confide in about your feelings, you can seek help, because there is help out there. There are hotlines for all these illnesses of the mental health, and you seek help. I urge you to pick up your phone and call for help. Book that appointment and see a psychologist. If you have been through so many traumas like I have, then see your psychologist, and you will be referred to a trauma therapist who will talk to you. You will have medication for it. I am so much better in the last 3 years going through depression and anxiety, and I am not ashamed to say that I sought help, because if I didn't, I would today be a mess, or I wouldn't even exist, because I was suicidal. I'm not ashamed to say it. If my saying it here is going to help even one of you out there, then I am open to saying how I feel. And on Sonal Says, that's what we do. We talk about things people do not want to talk about. We're going to talk about them here, because there is no shame. We are human. Yes, prayer is great. I have prayed. I pray every night. Prayer is necessary in our lives for our mental well-being. Going to church, praying, being spiritual, healing, whether it's your chakras or any sort of healing, meditation is amazing. But there are some things, such as depression, that one suffers silently. You're struggling. Each and every day is a struggle, and you don't understand why, and you're just a mess. You might look fine. Most depressed people actually are people who are smiling throughout. You look fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You can't see it on the exterior, but you are feeling it. You feel it. You don't want to get up. So, prayer is fantastic, and do pray. I urge you to pray. But if today, somebody fell down next to you and had a heart attack, you will pray, yes. But prayer alone is not enough. What would you do? Your natural instinct would be to pick up your phone and call an ambulance, call the hospital, call 911, call for help, right? So that is what I'm trying to say, that you must seek help, and don't be ashamed of it, my brothers and sisters, because you're not alone in this. Many athletes suffer from depression. I guess probably 98% of people in this world have some kind of mental, what can I say, mental, not depression, but an issue. And it's normal, it's totally normal, and I think it's time we normalize that mental health is something that we must deal with, and it's totally normal to come out in the open with it. If you don't seek therapy or seek medication or seek help from professionals, if you are suffering silently, it only progresses further. Yes, it's great to have loving people around. It does help. Support system is a big thing. If somebody knows you're going through and they call you, but in my case, I didn't. I only had my family. So if you do have those friends, count yourself lucky. But if you don't, then don't be ashamed of seeking help for yourself, and don't wait for anybody. And don't wait for anybody to come and rescue you. Save some of yourself for yourself. Rescue yourself first. Love yourself so much first that you are important. You matter, and your mental health is equally as important as the rest of you. You say depression, anxiety, all these diseases do not discriminate. Really, it can happen to you, it's happened to me, and it can happen to Kate Spade, it can happen to, everyone out there. It can happen to your neighbor, it can happen to a child. It happens to children in universities right now. So, it doesn't discriminate. If you also know that someone is suffering, I urge you to help them, give them a call and check on them. There is no point, once somebody is no longer there, to pick up the phone and speak to someone else and say, oh my God, did you hear the news? So-and-so passed away. I had no idea she was suffering. Otherwise, I would have reached out. It's strange, right? But this is what I'm saying. If you ever come across somebody you know and they look a bit down, maybe it's your duty to give them a call later if they want to open up. Hey, check on them. Are you okay? So they don't feel alone, because that's how mental health projects itself sometimes. You don't want to go out. You don't want to socialize. Trust me, I've been there, lived it, done that. And you just silently struggle. And there's no point then, after somebody's dead, talking about it, oh my God, I saw her yesterday. I had no idea what happened. Look harder. When you see someone you know, and they be they were once looking happy and all of a sudden they look a little different, maybe distorted a bit, confused a little, physically or mentally. Reach out, look hard at them, and if it's you, then I suggest that look even harder at yourself and think logically and say, am I struggling? Why am I struggling? Do I need to struggle? I need to seek help. Can I just call a doctor and say, I feel low, I feel depressed, I don't feel happy. The feelings of textbook depression are just those. You don't enjoy the things you once enjoyed. You become antisocial. You get so tired that some days you just want to lay in bed. I'm guilty of that. 3 days in a row. You don't want to take a shower because it's too much effort. You just feel sad and confused. And you just feel this huge weight on your shoulders and you don't know what to do about it. That is depression. Somebody hurts you, betrayal, divorce, death, grief, loss. All these are traumas that become or end up in depression, or I would call it mental clutter that keeps on building up in your mind, clutter over clutter over clutter, and then it becomes one day too much for you to handle. And at that time is when you actually contemplate and self-sabotage, and then you would think, let me just kill myself and it's over. Don't do that. Don't do that. If I can help any one of you out there, even one person, and reach you, if you're watching this video and struggling, please seek help. It's out there. It's out there for you, for me. I am still seeing my psychologist. I am still on medication, and I assure you, since about the last 2 years, I'm a different person. I have changed for me. I'm a nice person to be around. I'm happier. I don't feel those moments of sadness so much. And even if I did feel them, they're small traumas that I have dealt with, made closure, forgiven, and moved on. And I think every one of us should do that, because you don't choose what really happens to you at the end of the day. Just like eating a fruit. To be honest, if I have a rotten apple, for example, it's rotten, would I eat it? I wouldn't. Would you eat it? No, you wouldn't. So the same way, if you have bad thoughts, bad aura, bad energy, bad friends that are surround you, and especially mental thoughts, then if you use those thoughts or actually let them penetrate deeper and deeper and then clutter over clutter, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a rotten mind. And once it's rotten, there's nothing you can do about it, and then it's the end. Or I would suggest that anytime you do start feeling any general lowness in your life, or sadness or unhappiness for a certain reason, and maybe you don't even understand the reason, or you just feel like crying. I remember when I first saw my psychiatrist, and then I moved to a psychologist, and now it's back and forth, once in a while a psychologist and a psychiatrist for medication. So a psychologist listens to you while a psychiatrist treats you with medication. So the combination of this and a trauma therapist, a trauma psychologist therapist, I would say, who I have gone through sessions of MTP, they call it. It's a sound therapy that, you get in touch with your subconscious and you relive all those moments, and you once and for all get closure and you move forward, which has helped me tremendously, tremendously. So when I am saying this to you, I know what I'm saying. So seek help. It's there for you. Don't let your mind get into that rotten state. I remember, as I was saying, when speaking to my psychiatrist for the first time, and I said, he asked me, what brings you here? And I said, I don't know. He says, okay, so where do we start? And I said, I don't know where to start. And he responded, well, that's a good place to start. And you know what happened? I burst out into tears. Tears that I have been holding in my heart, in my head for years. All I did in my first session was cry. And that was what I did. After that, he said, let it out. And then he said, okay, Sonal, we shall see you for the next appointment. And then we'll know where to start. So psychologists, Psychiatrists are people who are there for you and me, for all of us. When you feel those feelings and you don't know what they are are here to help us, and so you must call one, just like you would go to A&R, just like you would go to the A&E for a knee injury if you fell down and you hit your head. So don't be ashamed about anything, my sisters and brothers, my friends, family out there. There is nothing to be ashamed about. I really think the term depression holds a lot of value to few people, but many other people do not understand the magnitude of this term, the word depression. It's even more important right now to educate ourselves for our children so we can see the signs. For the future, it's even more important to recognize some of the signs that lead up to this word that causes big mental deep shit. I just feel like those who are going through it, those who have gone through it, don't even have the correct mindset to approach anybody and feel free to talk about it, because it's kind of shameful. And it's not people's fault outside, because you can't read someone's mind, but it's just sad that that's the kind of approach that people with depression really have towards others. They become introverts, and to start with, I was already an introvert, so you keep hiding yourself and getting deeper and deeper into your shell or cocoon and being there alone and struggling. So you're just in there struggling because there's something in there, in those feelings, that stops you from connecting to the world, which is the first sign, because that's not normal. Like I said, some days it's about staying in bed all day. Sometimes it's about escaping reality and living in your own bubble, and we all deal with it differently. Some people deal with it by doing something completely unrelatable, and some people deal with it by not dealing with it or confronting it and doing nothing about it at all. It's a state of mind that can be cured if you are willing to take the first step, and that's only one step, and that's going to be the best thing you do for yourself. Seek that help, make that call and book that appointment with a psychiatrist, a professional psychiatrist who will help you. So let me make a joke here, so we make a little, make this video a little lighter. My psychiatrist knows your name. Anyway, no, but on a serious note, guys, you must take that first step, because if you don't, or you should do it for your loved ones. You should do it for your loved ones, because if you don't, then you are at a risk of losing your loved ones because of this mental state of mind. This mind is both an angel and a devil. This mind, what you give it, what you feed it, is what it will give you back. All that depth, all that deep shit is what will be the outcome. But if you give it positivity, light, sit out in the sunlight, actually go to the gym and work out, eat a good meal, get a good sleep. These are all good habits to feed your mind. If you meditate, these are all good things to feed your mind, and your mind absorbs it every day and takes on this, happy hormone, I like to call it, to ease your suffering. You are not alone. I tell you that I had never felt so alone in my life at that time. Though I was surrounded with my family, but I had never felt so alone that I was at the verge of ruining everything, including myself, to a point that I didn't care whether I lived at all. Forget about those who will judge you. If they judge you, then they're not part of you. They're not your family, they're not your friends. Keep those people around who will say, yes, we understand you, and we are there to support you, whatever it may be. To be honest, social pressures are not worth it. When you die, you will die alone. And when you're dead alone. So what society thinks, what judgments your friends may make, or what anyone thinks should not even occur to you, because you are struggling. If you don't help yourself, you are suffering. If you don't help yourself, you will die. And once you're dead, you are dead. Do this for you. Do this for you, for only you. Save yourself for yourself. Love yourself for yourself. Help yourself for yourself. Seek help for yourself. Because you are responsible for yourself, not the whole world. You're only responsible for yourself, your thoughts, your actions. And for the rest of you people who judge people who have depression, have gone through depression like myself, I don't care. In fact, there should be a community of all of us who have been victims and are healing right now, and others who are recent victims, and we should form a group of we don't care. We shall seek help. I don't care whether you want to judge me or not. I don't even care, because I am important. Me is important. You are important. My health is important. My well-being is important. My mind and where it is important. No matter how hard the situation is, no matter how hard, you guys have watched my life story. Till today, I get so many messages on that video. I am overwhelmed. So it does not matter. You matter. Anything negative also has a positive. Maths right now, are we learning maths? The negativity, the negative things can be handled, can be treated. You can treat it, because you can turn all those negatives into positives for yourself, for your family, for others around you. If you have fallen, let's call it fallen. If you have fallen and can't talk, get up, talk to me, write to me, talk to other people, get up, do it now. Because you know what I will feel if you do it right now? I am going to say, I am proud of you. I applaud you for seeking help. I applaud you for saying, yes, I am going to seek help. Because the last thing I would want to hear is that another person succumbed to these feelings, to mental health. It's difficult, but please just take this first step, a really small step, to getting better. And then you will see that life is beautiful and life is worth living. It's all in our mind, but we can change it. Thankfully, we can change it before it's too late. You have to want to get better. You have to want to stop feeling sad. I know sadness can actually make a home out of you. It did for me. It made me so lonely that even if I went out, I didn't want company, because I was just enjoying my own company. Well, I still do, actually. I think that I have grown to like my own company better than anybody else's, but slowly by slowly things change. It is late at night. It is almost, wow, it is late. Yeah, it's almost 10 p.m. No, it is 11:20 p.m. If there's anyone out here in Nairobi who wants contacts for psychiatrists, psychologists, send me a message, email me. If you want to do it in private, no problem. Write to me. My post box number is down here, or any one of you. I get lots of direct messages on Instagram from people who are suffering silently, and I urge them to do the same, to look for help in their country, wherever they are. And some of you have actually come back to me with great responses that you did seek help and you're much better. So I am really proud of you. And if you're watching this today and need this help, and I hope this video has helped you, then I am really, really happy and I'm proud of you. I'm very happy for you and love you very much. And I want you to remember that. And I want you to remember to start loving yourself and helping yourself. One small step, one day at a time. There is no need to live in the past. Oh, and that reminds me of a thought, like when you're boarding an aircraft, you can't carry 27 hand luggages, can you? You're allowed one hand luggage, right? One or two maximum, small ones. So the same way, let go of those 27 bags of the past, of weight, of sadness, of unhappiness on your shoulders. Let it go and let it drop. And then you'll be traveling light. Traveling light, which will make your head lighter, your emotions lighter, you happier, and much stronger. Does not have to make you feel like you're a weak person. It actually makes you a stronger person to seek help. You can choose to talk about it publicly like I do, or you can choose to seek help privately. But either way, seek help. That's all I have to say. So guys, yes, it is late right now. I'm gonna go and I have a long day tomorrow. Lots of videos coming up for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video here on Sonal Says about mental health. It is a very serious topic. It is very close to my heart, and I don't want any of you to suffer or go through what I did. But if you are, it's okay. It's totally okay. I'm here to help and to talk to you, and I want you to help yourselves also. If you did enjoy this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, guys, and forget even enjoying my video. If this video helped you in any way, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Like, share and subscribe. If you know anyone suffering out there, share this video in the hope that at least I may be able to make a change to even one person. And yeah, if anyone of you want to go back to see what I'm talking about and what I went through in my life and my life story, I will link it somewhere here or here. You can go there and watch it. And there's another one where I touch on the tip of this iceberg of depression just a little bit. You can watch it here or here. And yeah, all I wish you is lots of love, lots of positive love, guys, and lots of light. So much light, so much sunshine and light, positive light that carries only love and healing, so that you may heal if you are struggling and you're suffering, so that you may be well again and you may be happy and healthy again. That is all I wish for you today and forever. Lots of love, guys, and light.